Filter hooks. In this lecture, we are going to discuss filter hooks. And before we go any further, let's see what WordPress defines filter hooks as. It says, in WordPress, a filter is a function that is associated with an existing action by specifying any existing hook. Well, that's a difficult definition to understand. In simple words, filter means modify something. WordPress defines as many hooks where we can use filters. For instance, we can filter post contents, we can filter WordPress query variables, and we can filter widget titles. There are a lot of filter hooks offered by WordPress. And WordPress offers these filters using apply filters function. In this function, a tag name is provided and an argument is passed to this function. You can see there are different tag names for each filter that is offered by WordPress. And how we can get benefit from this? Well, we can use another function provided by WordPress, that is add filter. We use this function to hook into this apply filters provided by WordPress. Add filter function has two required parameters. One is the tag name of the hook and other one is the filter name that we are going to run at this point. Let's have a look at the codex page of these filters. This page is dedicated to define add filter function provided by WordPress. As we scroll down, we get to the parameters section. We see that tags and function names are required parameters. Then we have priority and accepted arguments as two additional parameters. These are optional. If we go to the filter reference page of WordPress, you will notice there are a lot of filter references hooks provided by WordPress. And these are categorized into different sections. As you can see, if we click on the post pages, these are the filter references hooks provided by WordPress. Before we go any further, let's view how we can use these filter hooks in our plugin. Let's fire up our PHP Storm, and you can fire up your code editor, and let's add a function that can filter the contents. If we go to the filter page reference and find for the content, filter hook is provided by WordPress to filter the contents of a post. We are going to use this filter as an example. Let's create a filter, and I am going to add a filter for the content, and then we are going to give a name to our function. Let's give it content filter, I guess. And let's copy this, and then we are going to FNR, and I'm using a live template for PHP Storm to get me help with this coding. This function will receive contents as its parameter, and if we are going to modify the contents, let's add something before the content. Let's see, just for the sake of example, get says, and then we concatenate it with the content, and we close this out and save it. Let's go to our boilerplate test. These are the contents of this post, and if we reload the page, you see the string of that we have defined over here is concatenated to the contents of each post. If we scroll down and go to the hello world section, you see a string is also concatenated to that section as well. For instance, if we want to add anything after the contents, let's do that as well. And let's just for the sake of example, let's reload, and you see these lines are now added to all the contents. Let's use another example and go to the filter reference, and let's try to scroll up, and we are going to add a new class to the body of our pages. Let's add use another filter, add, okay, let me use that, and it was body underscore class, right? Then we have add body class. Let's copy this out. Oh, oops, there's a typo. And it will receive body classes array. And if we scroll down, let me scroll up, and we are going to add a new class. Let's body classes, new array element, and it will be anything. This new array has been updated with a new class, and if we go to our test environment and open up this section, you see the class is not there. And if we reload the page, a new class has been added to the body of this page. And if we want to restrict, we can do all sort of settings. For instance, if we go to this section and we wrap it in if statement, if is single, and then we are going to run this code, and let's reload the page. You see the class is gone, but if we go to the individual page, class has been added there. So we can do all sort of things with these filters, and we can even define our own filters for our own plugin as well. Before we wrap up our discussion on filters, let me show you there are more functions available to us and provided by WordPress according that refers to the filters. For instance, we have discussed these two functions, but we can also remove filters and remove all filters. You can view the details of these filters at your liberty. These filter hooks enable us to extend WordPress, and some other plugins also provide filters for their plugin codes so that we can extend these plugins. For instance, WooCommerce provides a lot of filters so that we can build plugins on top of WooCommerce. Similarly, other plugins also provide filters so that their plugins can be extended. This sums up our discussion on the filters. See you in the next lesson. Thank you.